going to record also, I think. Let's see, where's the record button? What can I do for you? Resume recording. Okay, so I've resumed the recording now. So what we're going to do is switch it so that we're looking at Crystal's screen. So let me see what I need to do that. Okay. So Crystal, you should have a button where you can choose to share a screen so that we can see your screen instead of mine.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
It's coming, I think. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to the far left tab and choose one to work on. And you can...
Wait, please give me a minute.
Okay. If you need to work on that, I can switch it back and work with Mar a little bit. Is it going to be 20 minutes or something, or how long will it take you to fix that? Let's see, while she's getting that fixed, Mar, see if it'll let you click to share screen, and see if it'll let you just take over the screen share, or if I have to do it from here. See if you can just do it.
In fact, let me do this. Let me take the day to send out a few more quotes to you. That way you have a mix to choose from.
Let's see.
Because with having that date flexible and stopping and open,
do you have the
quite a few different options?
Ability, Mar, to click to share your screen now?
I'll touch base with you tomorrow about this time.
I'm looking at my Skype to see if anybody's telling me anything there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see, whose screen are we looking at right here? I think,
I'll send those over later today.
Who's got the hearts on your screen?
It's Mar's screen.
That's Mara's screen? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And your internet, your internet's still down right now, all right, Crystal?
Wow. Yes. Sorry, okay. So sorry.
That's no problem. We'll just do Mars for now.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mar, first of all, go to AMS, well, go to Chrome, I should say. Click on your bottom of the screen.
No, yeah, kind of. You know, you can just plug in the USB.
Okay. And what you're going to do is go put the word agent dot in front of that website. It starts agent.firstclassdiscountair.com. Just click it and put in the front of it agent dot. Yeah, agent dot. And then hit enter. Okay. So this this training on how to get logged in for the first time. So you're going to click log in with Google. And the first time you tried this, it will not let you do it. It'll say it's a closed system. It'll say, sorry, you can't do it. But then after you refresh and you come back and try it again, it'll let you in. So go ahead and click on login here. And then you'll need to copy and paste that new email address I gave you that ends in .co. I put it in your Skype. Click allow. This is training on how to get into AMS for the first time for a new agent. Okay, it says this is a closed system, so that's fine. So it says try again in 1 minute. So let's wait about a minute and hit F5, refresh it.
F5?
Yeah, the F5 key, like Frank 5, that'll automatically refresh it, or you can click this little refresh button on the screen, either way. It does the same thing as hitting the F5 key, like Frank 5. The two will push 25 of each. Did he say he has 25 of each? Okay, good. You got the credit card still. Okay. Thanks. So click on allow, R.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not a problem. So let me Skype Mark, ask him why you're not getting in. You might have to reset it or something.
Yeah.
Close your Chrome and then reopen it. Let's see if it'll let you in by doing that.
Okay.
Close Chrome completely. To do that, down at the bottom of the screen, there should be a thing where you can just point to that Chrome at the bottom of the screen and just put close all windows or something like that, so it closes it completely. In other words, you might close it in one spot, but you might still have it open in another screen or one spot. Make sure it's closed completely. I believe you can right-click on this rainbow at the bottom of your screen and tell it to close it completely. It's closed. Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead and open it again. Just get a fresh before I ask Mark about it. And if that doesn't work, what we can do is go delete your cookies and try it again, I think. Okay, try it again. Okay. Log in.
Allow again.
Yeah, allow. Oh, I can see what's wrong right now. I see what's wrong. You have to go up here to these settings.
Uh-huh.
You're not logged into your company email in Chrome, so click on settings here. Well, just as a side suggestion to everybody, I would suggest that you also click on the word about over here next. And you can do this also, Crystal, and anybody watching this recording should click on about and see how it says it's automatically checking for updates. As soon as you click on about, it's automatically going to update your Chromes to make sure you have a current version of Chrome. So it's good to do that about once a month. Just click on about and let it check for update. See, your Chrome isn't up to date, so that's could be part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that about once a month to make sure you've got the latest Chrome. So you've got some kind of a problem with Chrome. So I would suggest when you have time to go download Chrome all over again, make sure that it's to get rid of your errors. There's some kind of a problem with your Chrome, but that shouldn't stop us today. So go to a new tab. Just click on a new tab.
Here's a new one.
Yeah, and just go to your apps over here and choose Gmail. Here's one. Just click on Gmail right here. Or actually, here's another way to do it. You can click your picture over here and log in again in another Gmail. If you're not logged into your company email, add account. In other words, you have to get logged into your company Gmail before you can get into AMS, and you're not logged into your company yet. I'm going to see if we can do it where you're logged into emails. You should be able to. Let's try it. So to get into another email, you click on your picture at the top right, which is what you did. Then it says, do you want to add an account? Then you click on where it says add account, and let's see if it got you to the right place or what it's doing. Okay, kill that. Okay, wait, stop. Yeah, that's right. You want
Okay.
This is your new email, which ends in .co. So get rid of that and put in your new email that ends in .co that I sent. Okay. It's Margarito A at FCDA.co if you want to just type it in. Margarito A at FCDA.co. No, it's not a dot, it's an at FCDA.co. So that's your company email address. Hit next. Notice that it ends in .co, not .com.
Okay. And password.
Password, you have to copy that from Skype. It's that big long thing that starts with a question mark. So go to your Skype and copy that.
Yes, and let me.
You probably just have to wait. It probably just takes a while to come up.
Okay.
There it
There we
is.
are.
Click it now.
Oops.
So copy it from there. You're going to want to copy it to one notes also at the same time, so you'll have it handy. Copy it over to your quoter's notes, maybe, or something like that. You'll be able to just highlight it and copy it. If you get too much, that's okay. You can just erase the rest before you hit sign in. If you get a whole sentence with it or something, that's fine. Just erase the rest of the sentence before you hit sign in. Just click on Skype right there and it should bring it up.
They did. It's taking a while. There we are.
Yeah, it takes a while. Skype takes a long time to come up.
So this is the password, right?
Yeah, it starts with a question mark. Copy that whole thing. And I would put it over here on your sticky note also, so you have it easier for next time. Get rid of that plus in front of it. You know, have it somewhere. And paste it in here. Just hit Control V to paste it in there. Control V like that.
Copy it again.
Did you hit Control C over here?
I did.
Maybe try right clicking, copy it. Copy the whole message, just click on copy message and then just use the part you don't need before you hit send. Control V to paste it there. Looks like it didn't copy it for some reason.
Let's see what's over here. Copy the entire message. Over here. Control V.
Yeah, now copy it from there.
All right.
Yeah, you need the question mark. You're missing.
Oh, at the beginning, huh?
Just hit enter and it'll come back all in the same line. Yeah, now get all of that. Control C to copy it. Sign in. So you have to sign in to your company email first before you can get into AMS. And sometimes some computers, you even have to log in to click accept. Some computers you even have to log into Chrome as your company email also before it'll let you to AMS. So let's see if AMS lets you in or if we have to log into Chrome that way also. Go over to your AMS tab after it's done. Oh, it wants you to make a new password that you'll remember easily. Be careful and make sure it's one that you'll remember, because you know that big long one's not going to work anymore after you make one here.
Any specific rules?
No, just whatever you want to have. Make sure you're going to remember it because you need it every day. Okay. So it's not going to be that big long one anymore because you just changed it. Okay, put your phone number there. Click update at the top. Put your phone number in there, or else. Then click verify. You have your phone with you so you can type in the code.
Mm-hmm.
Click get code. Type in what you got as a text message. Continue. Your personal account. Done. Okay, let's see if it lets you into AMS or if you have to log into Chrome as your company email also. Now we'll go to the tab on the top left. See if it'll let you in. Hit F5 to refresh. Log in. Okay, pick the bottom one. Allow. So every day you have to log into your company email first before you try and go to the AMS.
Okay.
That's what was wrong. Okay, let's see. This is the first time you've logged in properly, so it's normal that it doesn't let you in the first time you logged in properly. This is normal. So let's wait a minute until your computer's done thinking.
Okay.
And when it's done thinking up here, we'll hit F5 to refresh. Try hitting this refresh button now, or else F5, either one. Okay, now try and log in again. Bottom one.
There we go.
Okay, so now you click on quotes.
Okay.
Quote votes needed. And by the way, Chris, you're allowed to start votes now. And of course, you'll probably get stuck because it's your first one. But you can either watch what Lamar's doing or because you're both logged in and you're both going to be working on Asia files. You just have to coordinate who's doing which one. Just 1 minute, I have to answer the phone. First
Okay.
class discount air, man. You said it's from Mel. And going where? Okay, and when are you leaving Mel, or leaving Melton? When are you coming back? Of June? Okay. 12th or 13th. Okay. And how many people? Okay. All right. And what's your first name? D-I-C-K-I? Okay. What I'll do is I'll send a quote to your email if that's all right. What's your email address? Okay. 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 Our quotes always go to spam at Hotmail for some reason, so tomorrow morning check your spam folder. And which, oh, your last name is Hanks? B-A-D-H-A-M for Mary. Well, before we get going, let me put in your phone number here. I've got it on the caller ID. Is that the best number, the one you're calling from? The mobile number? 404-294-581. Okay. And what was your comment? Right. Okay, so sorry, I'm back. Whoever's making all that noise, just mute it. Okay. All right, so we're showing Mar how to do his first quote. And Crystal, you're welcome to either be working on a different quote or watching this. It's up to you. If you have any questions, just speak up. Okay, so we are looking at the list of the quotes available, and the two of you are working on Asia Miles. So let me just look at these a second. Okay, let's look at this one named Linda Neal to start with. And notice that there's been 2 quotes sent already, so do not click new yet, but instead click the plus. And so that we can see what's been done already.
Double click or just one click?
Just one click. Let's see. Give me a second here. Okay, so go ahead and click it. Did you click the plus?
I did.
You might have to hit F5 to refresh to get it to wake up, I guess. I'm so sorry, my phone's ringing off the hook now. First class discount air, may I help you?
What are the computer?
Okay, where were we? So we have two that have been sent already to this customer. So we want to click edit on the bottom one and see what he sent. Okay, so there's a couple things to do. One is to look at the itinerary, and so click on step 3 just to see what airline he used.
What's the maximum quote that you do for a request?
There's no maximum. It just depends on whether it's logical to send it or not.
Okay.
Obviously, you wouldn't send a quote that's worse than what's been sent already. You could send one that's equal to what's been sent already in terms of quality or airline, but different. You just send it if it's a logical additional option to send. It looks like your internet isn't all that fast, huh?
It's really slow for some reason today.
Yeah, so, okay, so I can tell by looking at this one that it's not Cathay Pacific. That one was sent with Air Canada. So go back, hit the back arrow and go back to the next, go back to where you were with the back arrow. Yeah, we might switch over and have you watch Crystal because I think hers is a lot faster. We can make more progress. I can help you maybe individually, separately. Let's see if we can, I think we'll just look at this one and then maybe switch to mine or Crystal so we can do it faster. Okay, so go back to the same one and click on plus again. Or where did it go? I think it's off your screen.
This one, right?
Oh, that one. Okay, you're right. So click that And this will be a good education for you to look at them and see. So now click the top one that opened up. I want you to know how to do this. You don't necessarily have to do this for everyone, but I want you to know how to do this.
Okay.
So that other one, he quoted 3,600, and you saw it was on Thai Airways. I had a couple, 2 or 3 different connections in each way. You just kind of get a feel for what's been sent already, because we're going to try and send something that's equal or better. Otherwise, why send it, right? So let's look at the itinerary on this one again. See what he sent on this one. So that other one, it was obvious when I looked at it that I knew he used Air Canada miles. One second, I have to answer a customer here.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see. He's got Singapore Air and Air India in here. Okay, so this one he could be using either Air Canada or Singapore miles. To find out what he is using, let me show you. And you don't necessarily have to go through all this on every quote, but I wanted to show you how to do this so you know how to do it. So slide up on your screen about 4 inches with your bar that's way over here on the right until you see financial info. Then click on financial info and let's look that up and see what he did. So I wanted to teach you how to read this. It's called the math line, okay?
Okay.
And the miles that he used are right here. He used Air Canada 190K, which means 190,000. So he used, for this quote, he used Air Canada Aeroplan Reward website, and it told him the miles were 190,000. And then he put the taxes in the award calculator. It told him the taxes in Canadian dollars, and then he converted it to US dollars, and it came out to $328 of the taxes, 190,000 miles. And then he added $600 GP, okay? And that this same information right here came from the award calculator, and it came when he hit this button to import it, and it filled in this price.
It does automatically then.
Well, when you paste it in there, when you click this import button and you paste it, remember that box pops up at the top and you paste it in at the box at the top.
Yeah.
And then what it fills in is this quoted price. And then he went to here and he knows the trip is starting in Australia. So he clicked it and changed it to something that we do not want. Like he changed it to Chinese money or whatever. Then he changed it again to what we do want, which is the Australian dollars, which is the currency of where the trip is beginning. And then when he copied the pretty flights from Matrix, he found out that they would have paid about $5,600 for this trip if they never called us. So he filled this in manually. He changed this to something we do not want and then changed it to something we do want. And then all the rest of this information came in automatically from the award calculator. The selling price was determined because he put the GP at 600 in the yellow box. This was the miles that came from the Air Canada Aeroplan website. This is the taxes that came from the Air Canada Aeroplan website. And then he converted it to US dollars using the website that I call the Red Cross. To get you to the Red Cross website, on a new tab, and I'll just tell you what to type in there, or I might send you a link. Let's see, what you would type in there is currency 24 dot ch, enter.
Oh, I put 21, I'm sorry.
24. So just click on it and fix it. So all of you that are watching this recording, be sure and do the same thing. See 24.ch and hit enter. And then when it comes up, let me make sure everybody knows how to, the best way to save a favorite. Okay, click on this star at the top right of your screen, and don't get ahead of me, just go slow. Okay, click the star at the top right of your screen and go slow, don't get ahead of me. Now hit the delete key because you want to delete this name here. You don't need the name. And then make sure this says bookmarks bar and then hit done. You delete the name, make sure it says bookmarks bar and then hit done. And see how it put a red cross here? And it doesn't have any words because you don't need the words. You know the red cross is your currency converter. And so now in here, well, he would have put CAD for Canadian dollars when he converted the currency from Canadian dollars to US dollars. And then you do not have to hit this red button in the middle. As soon as you put CAD over here and put in how many it was, it's going to automatically show up over here, and you need to just highlight it and copy it. You don't have to do anything with this red arrow in the middle. So you'll learn how to do that as you go along. But the main thing is I wanted to make sure you know every time you get to a website that's something you're going to use for work, you should hit that star, hit delete to get rid of the title, make sure it's on the bookmarks bar, and hit done. Okay, so another thing you should do is point to this AMS at the top left of your screen, point to that, and don't click on it, but instead right click it and choose duplicate, because you should have that open twice so that you can use one for your quoting and one for your word calculator. And notice that it's a small tab because you right clicked on it and you chose pin tab to make it a small tab, and that means it's pinned to that location all the time. It's easy to find. So your far left one is always where you're making the quotes, and the next one's always your award calculator. So to get this second one on the award calculator, you go to Tools and then Award Calc. Tools and then Award Calc. And you always leave that one on the Award Calc. That's where you put your miles and taxes when you find out how much it costs.
What about the website for the Seat Guru?
Just click on this tab that you're not using that says Google or a new tab, and just type seatguru.com and it'll take you there. Seat Guru, there it is. Just click it. And when it comes up, let me show you what to click before you save it as a favorite.
Okay.
It's better to get to a particular part of it first. Okay, so you know, click down here to get you to the actual website. Okay, don't save it yet. First, click on this tab that says Find Seat Maps. You must be using Wi-Fi instead of an Ethernet cable, huh? Okay, so when you see this, oops, something went wrong. Click on Find Seat Maps again. Just wait, and when you get there, don't click anything new.
Okay.
Okay, now click the star and then hit delete.
Okay.
And then make sure it says bookmarks bar, and it does.
Mhm.
So now hit done. Hit the button that says done.
There is.
And there's your seat on your bookmarks bar. Right there.
Mm.
Okay, so so you have the basics there, and then so you want to click the tab to find a quote to work on, and be your far left AMS tab.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so this one you're looking at a quote, and if you're going to work on this one, you want to click on Request Workflow Checklist. You're actually in a quote that was already sent by JASM, but you can still mark the workflow checklist from here. You can mark it from anywhere because everybody sees this same list, so it doesn't matter if you're in his quote and you check it, or yours and you click it. But before you ever start working on it, you want to go in there and let everybody know that you're the one that's working on the Asia miles for this. Crystal doesn't work on it at the same time. If you go in here and Crystal's name is here already, so you double click on it where it says the top left where it says search CX, double click on the word CX, and it'll open up a little window or a pop-up. And then you change that Alex W to Mar. Find your name on the list. And find your name and then click it. Okay, and don't click this completed box yet because you're not done yet, but instead you're working CX or something like that. Or just the word working, because we know it's CX, it's on that line, just hit the word working. And then hit submit. And this tells Crystal that you're working on this for CX, so she doesn't need to. So if she sees that, she's going to go on to the next one because she knows that you're handling this one in terms of Asia miles. There's 2 or 3 of you working on Asia miles at the same time, so you got to be sure and put your name here so that nobody else does the same thing you're doing. Remember, you're in a quote that's already been sent, so now you've got to get into your own quote, which would be a new one that's not sent yet. So to get out of this one, just go to the very top of your screen, and you can either hit the back arrow, or what I like to do is I like to just go to quotes needed again and just click on quotes needed, because to me it refreshes it, and I'm get a fresh start and everything instead of using the back arrow all the time. It's just my own personal preference. And now you got to find the name of the one that you're working on. You got to find it in the list. Let's say you look at the list and you don't see it, but you've got the name written down in front of you. And let's see, it's this one right here, Linda Neal. So what you should do is have Linda Neal's name written down in front of you, just so that you know which one you're working on. And plus, it's good to keep a list of the ones that you've already worked on. So start a little booklet or something. So Linda Neal would be on your list. The next one you work on is on your list, and then when you come back tomorrow, oh, I already did Linda. You got it. So now you're not looking at one of the ones that have been sent already. You're going to start a new quote. So hit the word new. Just click it once, or double click it. It doesn't matter. Maybe you have to double click it. I'm not sure. And now you're in a new quote that's your quote that you're working on. Nobody else is working on this one. And normally you would go in and mark the workflow checklist that you're working on it, but you already did that when
Okay.
when you're working on somebody else's quote. But if you click on the workflow checklist from here, you'll see that it has your name there already because you put it in while you were, in somebody else's quote, looking to see what they did. But it's still. Go ahead and double click that, just so you can see that this is a common list for this particular customer's name. This is a common list.
There is.
Yeah, so see, even though you were looking at a different quote, it was this same person's name, so it's a common list. Everybody working on this same person's quotes are going to be listed here. Okay, so now the first thing you do is in this box right here, you put CX because you're the CX person, and then paste her name in there also, so CX4, and put her name. And you never type a name, you always copy and paste names. CX space FOR, and then copy this entire name from this black box and put it in there. Just goes right in there.
Okay.
Then change this new to researching so everybody knows you're working on it. It's not new anymore, you're researching it. Okay, and now you've done step 1 and you've done all this, and now you go to step 2. So slide down your page and go to step 2. And click on step 2 right here. And step 2 is saying, okay, what did you find out in the award calculator? Well, you didn't do the award calculator yet, so it's just reminding you, okay, now it's time to go get the award calculator filled in. So to fill in the award calculator, you're going to have to figure out, first of all, there's kind of 3 things to do next, and you'll get to where you can do these really fast. The first thing to find out is what's the best route, or how to get there. How much does it cost? Is this one worth working on? And so you go to a new tab, and you go to a website called matrix.ita software.com. So just hit enter because it popped up. Matrix.ita software.com. Okay, and then when this comes up, let me make sure you're at the right part of it first before you save it as a favorite. So before you start working on it, or before you can fill in the award calculator, there's kind of 3 things you have to do. Go to Matrix, and it tells you the general idea of who flies there, how to get there, how much it costs, that kind of thing. So you're going to put in the information that's in the quote. So you've got to go back to the, well, let's see, let's save this on your favorites first. So hit the star, then hit delete, and make sure it says bookmarks bar, and hit done. And then that'll put the logo up there as a favorite. Okay. Now go back to your original quotes needed, and I like to just write down this information and have it on a pad in front of me while I'm working. So click on the original quotes needed one.
This one?
No, that's the award calc. You want to go to the first one, which is, yeah, you're here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm there.
So yeah, you're there. So slide to the top and click on the details. Request info, sorry. Request info. No, stop. It's right here.
Oh, right here. Okay.
Click this. That's what we call the details. So I would write down the 31 of May, okay, and see how it says plus 3 days, okay, and then write down the 3 of August and see how it says plus 3 days there. So that means they cannot go earlier than that, but they can go later.
Okay.
See this plus 3? It doesn't say plus or minus, it just says plus. So that means they can't go before that date, but they can go later.
Mhm.
And then this B means they want business class. It's for one person. So I would write down, you know, business class, one person. This return means that it's a round trip. If it says return, that means round trip. They want to go both ways. And then this is the cities, B&E to LHR, okay? So they're going to go from B&E to LHR and back again. It's for one person in business class. They can go the 31 of May or up to 3 days later. They can go the 3rd, come back the 3rd of August or up to 3 days later. Those are not the dates they arrive. Those are the dates they get on the plane to start the trip. Okay, so I personally have written that down in front of me. So then what you do is you go over to Matrix and you put in that information, and you're accomplishing a few things by doing this. The first thing you're accomplishing is making sure it's not an $800 flight or something stupid that we can't even compete with. So let's put in the airport code is B&E, like Boy, Nancy, Edward. And we're going to put in the LHR, which stands for London, like Larry, Hotel, Romeo.
Nope, not there.
No, not there on
Yeah.
the second line. Yeah. Okay. Larry Hotel November, or sorry, Larry Hotel Romeo, LHR, and then click it. Okay. And see this advanced routing codes. If you knew the flight numbers you were looking for, you'd click that. Go ahead and click it. It won't hurt anything right now. That gives you some more blank lines to fill in actual flight numbers if you want to look for specific flight numbers, but we're not doing that right now. Okay, so this date right here is going to be the 31 of May. You can either type 31 May 17, or you can go find it and click on 31.
That was 31st, right?
Yeah, 31. So just double click the 31 and it'll put it in. Then the return date is the 3 of August. Either type it in or find it on the calendar and then double click it. Okay, and change the cheapest available to say business class or higher. And then get rid of this check mark right here. And then type USD right here for US dollars. And then go to the bottom and hit search. Okay, it's thinking.
Okay.
Okay, so slide to the top. Okay, so this is showing us that if they didn't care what kind of crappy airline they fly on, they could get it for $4,000. If they want a really nice airline like Cathay Pacific, like the one we're working on, it's $4,800. Some are as high as $5,388, but we're going to probably send Cathay Pacific type flights. So this $4,852 is the price that we're trying to beat. We may or may not be able to beat it, but we're going to try. And if we can beat it, then we can send them a quote.
Okay.
So that told us, first of all, Cathay does fly there, and it tells us the kind of price range. If this thing said $1,500 or something, we'd say, oh, forget it, and we'd stop working on it. We just move on to the next one.
Okay.
But because it's a $4,800 flight, however, I will tell you, based on my experience, that $4,800 for this route is really cheap. So Cathay Pacific is running a sale right now, apparently, because that's really cheap. Usually, it'll say like $12,000. You know,
Yeah.
so it's going to be hard for us to beat this one this time, which is unusual because they must be having a sale. But we'll still try for training. Okay. So it told us. Now there's another thing we can do. We can double click this price right here, this 48.52, and see where it goes. So click that.
This one?
Double click. No, the Cathay Pacific.
That one.
Yeah. Double click the one that's Cathay Pacific, because you're working on Cathay Pacific and their partners, and that means that you're going to either give them Cathay Pacific or Qantas or one of their partners. And what the best thing to do is hit this duration button to bring all the shortest, best trips to the top, and then click sort by duration, that blue line that says sort by duration. Click that line.
Okay.
And then after you click that line and after it gets done thinking, then you close this box. By hitting the blue X to close it after it gets done thinking. And what you've done is you brought the ones that are the shortest amount of hours to the top, and you know, the best trips, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
If you point over here to this white area, the word details will show up, and then you click it, and then you'll see how it goes. Okay, well, this is good for you to know how it goes, because remember, on the Cathay website, you're going to have to put Brisbane to Hong Kong and then Hong Kong to London. So you have to know that it goes to Hong Kong, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't know what to put in. So when you search for it in the Cathay Pacific website, in the area where you get the taxes, you just put all the way from Brisbane to London. In the area where you get the miles, you're going to have to put Brisbane to Hong Kong on one leg, then Hong Kong to London on another leg, and then London to Hong Kong on another leg, and then Hong Kong to Brisbane on another leg. You're going to put in 4 legs in the area of the Cathay Pacific that tells you how many miles it is. Okay, and so that's why we're here. We found out that it's going to go through Hong Kong both ways. We found out that it's Cathay Pacific flights all the way. And now we're going to go to the Cathay Pacific website and find out if they're available. There's 2 ways to do that. One way is to use KVS, which is what I do because it's faster. So hit your KVS shortcut at the bottom here and bring up a KVS, the KVS blue airplane at the bottom of your screen. Yep. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in B&E to London, Boy Nancy Edward to LHR in these cities right here. From B&E to London. I'm going to change this black arrow to CX at the top. This is what I personally like to do because it's faster. Because if I find out it's not available, I'm going to abandon this and move on, because I don't want to spend a lot of time finding out that I can't send a quote, you know what I mean? So the 31 of May, and by the way, before you hit go, I would hit the gear and duplicate this so that you could be doing 2 things at once. So hit the gear at the top of your screen and choose launch another instance. And just have both of them open at once. So the one on the left, we've got the 31 of May, we've got the right date for one person. So I'm going to go ahead and hit go now on the one on the left. Okay, and while that one's thinking, I can start working on the one on the right. So I'm going to put in your cities, which are the return is LHR for the return, going back to B&E, and that date is the 3rd of August. Stand by. I need to go do something for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So, London to Brisbane, 3rd of August. Okay. So hit go on both of them, or did you already? This is the go button.
Sorry, I went to get a drink.
Okay, no problem. Did you hit go on them?
Yes,
yet?
I did on both.
So they're both thinking already.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Boy, they're taking a long time, aren't they?
Yep.
Maybe KVS isn't faster on your computer. Well, at least you're learning how to use it.
Well, I think it's the internet. So next time I do this, I'm just going to use the Ethernet cable instead of the wireless.
Oh yeah, this wireless is way too slow.
Mm-hmm.
You got an Ethernet cable, and you just have to do it in a different room or something?
Yeah, I do. I just have to be close to the router. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be important. You can get 30-foot Ethernet cables. They're cheap on eBay. In fact, you can get 50-foot Ethernet cables, and they're still cheap.
Oh yeah, my son used to have one of those because he wanted the Ethernet all the way to his room.
Yeah. Okay, so the one on the right says that there's no pluses, so it's not available. So hit the down arrow on the right to see if the next day is available, because remember that she was flexible. So you hit the down arrow. And then the one on the left says it's not done yet. So the one on the right, you're already trying the next day. Go ahead.
Yeah, I already did. It's looking for August 4.
Okay, and then the one on the left finally finished, and there's no CS pluses or FS pluses. So hit the down arrow on the one on the left and go to the next day. The only reason we're going to the next day is the passenger said they're flexible for 3 days. But when you're on Ethernet, you'll be able to do this really fast and find out, is it worth it to go to the website and work on this one, or should I pass and move on?
Plus, it's faster when you're not sharing the screen. So
True, yeah. I have a feeling that this one's going to be one that we're going to abandon and move on because we haven't found any CS pluses yet.
mhm.
So that's why really quickly, you look at the request, you stick it in Matrix, make sure it's not a $500 flight, see how it's going, stick it in KVS. You could even stick it in KVS first and skip the Matrix. Just go straight from the request to KVS and see if it's available. Boom, boom, available or not, mark it that you tried it, move on to the next one. Boom, boom, oh, it's available. Okay, well then I'm going to go to the website and get the miles and taxes and make a quote.
So let's say that this flight is available from Australia on 5 different airlines. Do you quote all those 5 airlines? I mean,
Yes.
not me. Somebody else is going to do another airline and so on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we quote all 10 of them if that's available, but usually there's only 1 or 2 or 3 that are available, and then those are the ones we quote. Most of the time you go to KVS, you check it really quick, it's not available, and you move on to the next one.
Yeah.
The one on the left says not responding, so try.
It says requesting over here on both on my screen.
Yeah. It could be because you're sharing screen or the Wi-Fi or a combination. It thinks that it took too long. So maybe you should try 1 KVS at a time. Maybe your Wi-Fi is not handling it. So close one of those KVSs. Let's just do 1 at a time. It's apparently overloading your Wi-Fi, I think. Okay, refresh this by just hit the
F5.
hit the red X at the top is what I would do, and just stop it and start over again.
There you go.
Oh, all of a sudden, okay. So I can already tell that we're oh, wait, here's a first class, but is there 2 together? Let me get my
2 together? No.
In other words, where's the FS plus that it showed?
There's 1.
Yeah, but see, that one is from Brisbane to Singapore, but the part from Singapore to London is missing. It's a minus. Okay. And so there's nothing available here. So hit the down arrow to go to the next day. 31 of May plus 3 days. So 31 of May, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So we're going to go all the way to the 3rd of June. It's at least it's working this time instead of getting stuck. I guess we had 2 of them open, was overloading it.
Where's everybody today? There's nobody at the training.
They're coming at 9:30 our time. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, last night the training it didn't record for me.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll do it again sometime. Okay, so let's see what's happening. Is it still thinking? I guess it is.
Mhm.
So notice we're doing this without even going to the website, because once you plug in your Ethernet, this will be fast. Just put in the cities, put in the dates, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, yes, yes, no, no, bump, done. Instead of playing around with the website, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to go to the website once you find out from here that there's a CS Plus, because you got to go find out the miles, and then you got to find out the taxes.
And earlier today, you said that we don't have to call the airline. We can figure it out on the webpage, right?
Right, yeah. It seems to be not responding. I'm going to try my KVS.
It's right there.
Oh, it's right there. Okay. Here's one CS, but the flight that goes with it isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So we found out that it's not available. Okay, so do one more day, because she's 3 days, so hit the plus again. If now I'm a person, frankly, that instead of doing this KVS, I might have even called the airline anyway, just because that's even faster sometimes if they answer quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If I call the airline and it says it's an hour and a half hold time, then yeah, I'm going to go to KVS and the website and figure it out without calling them. But I'm a person who actually prefers to call the airline. For me, it's easier to sit on the phone and let them do all the work than it is for me to do all the work. But there's 3 different ways you can do it. You can call the airline and just ask them, or you can use KVS, or you can use the website, or you can do all 3. You know?
When you call the airline, do you do it on your phone or Skype?
I call them on Skype. Once you get into the habit, well, it's a toll-free number, so you can call it from your Skype for free.
Okay.
If you get into a lot of phone calling for us, then we'll issue a Skype account to you that's a company Skype account that has all the long distance paid, because someday you might want to advance into do telemarketing where you call the customer and talk to them. And if you do that, then we provide you with a Skype account from the company with all the long distance paid. And we also, it times your calls, and we pay you, 10 cents a minute for all the time you're on the phone too, on top of the $1 a quote. So if you advance to becoming a telemarketer, then, while you're quoting, you can also be calling customers or calling, the airlines, and then you get paid 10 cents a minute for talk time too, on top of the $1 a quote. And then if they end up buying it, then you get, 5% of the GP on top of that. So there's 3 different paychecks available. There's $1 a quote, and also 10 cents a minute if you're willing to get on the phone for us, and also 5% of the GP if you are willing to help us, close the deal and make sales and write up orders and stuff. It can be $1 a quote plus 10 cents a minute on the phone plus 5% of the GP eventually. If you want to do that, you don't have to. Some people just do quotes and that's it. Just send as many quotes as they can a day, and they get paid $1 a piece, and they go home happy with it. It's up to you. Okay, what did we find out here? Is it still thinking for some reason?
Still thinking.
Oh, I was going to go try my KVS just to speed this up and see what mine says. We're doing CX, and we're doing from BNE to LHR.
There's nothing.
Oh, nothing. Okay, so let's go back to the far left tab on your screen, minimize KVS, and go back to the far left tab on your screen.
Okay.
Which is the quotes needed, the far left one. That's your quotes needed. And this is the one where you're in the quotes. You go to the request workflow checklist and you put, we tried it, but no availability. So what you're going to do is go in here and double click the CX again, open it up again. And instead of the word working, change it to no availability. Okay, and then click the box that says you're done.
Submit. Hold on.
No, hit the box first to show that you're done, and then hit submit. Okay, so now when everybody looks at this, they know you're not trying anymore. That next time just use the word no availability.
Oh,
or you
yeah.
or you could say not available.
Yeah.
You're not available or no availability. But so this tells them, because there's a check mark here, they're saying that you're not trying anymore. You're done. Because 3 days from now, it could be that somebody tries again and it is available by then, because things change. If somebody else has time and they want to check this tomorrow or 3 days from now to see if something became available, then they can. And they would update this, and they would put their name that they're researching it, and they'd put down here, checking for any new availability. And anytime you want to, you can come back and try this one again, because availability changes every day. Sometimes it's not available today, but tomorrow all of a sudden it's being offered. So that you wouldn't get into a habit of doing that. You wouldn't do it on purpose, because it's very rare that it becomes available later. I'm just saying that for principle, for based on what is possible, it is possible that somebody would think, so maybe somebody played with this in their KVS and said, hey, look, it's available now. If they played with it in their KVS and it says, hey, look, it's available now, it's not going to hurt anything for them to come and change this from your name to theirs and get rid of this check mark and put, I'm trying this one again. It's okay. They can try it again if they want to. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They would just keep updated notes. We're not really concerned about who tried it last. We're just concerned as somebody working on it right now. And nobody's working on this right now because there's a check mark here. So that means if somebody else wanted to give it a try in a few days, in case the availability changed, they could. And if they did, they'd double click this, change this to their name, get rid of the check mark because they're not done. They'd put checking for requote or checking for new availability or trying again, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So that one's done. And normally the way it would work, if you were trained and you were, going, you would come in here and you would click this, put that you're working on it. You'd snap over to KVS, put those flights in KVS. You'd hit the down arrow, not available. You'd come back, and about 30 seconds later, you'd put, I tried it, not available. Boom, move on.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to the website at all, because if KVS says it's not available, it's not available. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that one, you'd be able to just eliminate it quickly, like in a matter of, a minute, and then move on to another one. I need to take a break because I've been doing this for a while, and
Okay.
I'm going to be back here in 4 hours from now. So anybody that's, let me see, is somebody just arrived? Hold on. Oh, Ike's here. Ike, do you have a question that I need to answer? Because otherwise I'm going to take a break and come back here in 4 hours. But I can help you with a quick question if you want. First, let me turn off my recording. Give me a second. Figure out where to stop it. Let's see. So after you stop the recording, that little red light flashes for a while, Mara, while it's downloading, or what? You just wait?
Yeah.
It doesn't say it's downloading or something. It just is, huh?
We have to stop the sharing of the screen.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
And then it's...
Yeah, once you finish the meeting,
yeah.
That's when it starts converting the file into an MP4.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just ask Ike, do you have a question, Ike? Because otherwise I'm going to be going away and come back in 4 hours. Your microphone is muted, so I can't hear you. Oh, she left, so Oh, she must not have a question. Well, should I end the meeting, Mar, or just stop sharing?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So we can probably.
Yeah, I'll see
And
you in
this
4
one.
hours, Crystal, okay? 4 hours from now.
Okay.
Okay.
No, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Bye bye.
So I'm still here, so I wonder if I just end the meeting, will the recording work?
Yep.
Okay, I'll just end the meeting, see what happens.
Okay.
Bye.